There's something truly magical about Japanese cooking. It's elegant, balanced, and deeply respectful of nature's flavors. Every sound of the knife, every scent of soy and steam, it's all a quiet dance between precision and patience. But here's the truth. Mastering Japanese cooking isn't about expensive ingredients or complex recipes. It's about understanding the small details, the kind of wisdom you only discover after years in the kitchen. Today, we're uncovering 25 Japanese cooking tips and tricks I learned far too late, each one a simple change that can completely transform the way you cook, eat, and appreciate food. 1. Let cooked rice rest before fluffing. When your rice cooker beeps, your first instinct might be to lift the lid right away, but don't. Give it about 10 minutes to rest. During this short waiting time, the trapped steam gently moves through the pot, allowing every grain to finish cooking evenly. This simple pause prevents sogginess and makes the rice fluffier, shinier, and easier to serve. Here's how to do it right. Once the rice is done, turn off the cooker, keep the lid tightly closed, and wait. After 10 minutes, open it carefully. Use a wooden spatula to fluff the rice in gentle slicing motions, not stirring. This releases excess steam without crushing the grains. Japanese chefs swear by this resting step. It's the secret behind that perfectly tender, glossy rice you find in sushi or bento boxes. A little patience truly transforms ordinary rice into something worth savoring. 2. Add soy sauce near the end. Soy sauce is more than just salt, it's liquid umami, the heart of Japanese cooking. But many people make the mistake of adding it too early, which causes the heat to destroy its aroma and subtle sweetness. To use it the right way, cook your dish almost completely, then lower the heat and add the soy sauce near the end. Stir gently so it coats the ingredients without boiling away. If you're making soup or stir-fry, add just a drizzle before serving for that rich, savory depth and glossy finish. For dipping sauces or rice dishes, a few drops can awaken the flavor instantly. Think of soy sauce as a finishing note, not the base it should enhance, not dominate. Japanese chefs say the key is timing. Add it too soon and it disappears. Add it last and it sings. 3. Use a wooden spatula for rice. When it comes to handling rice, the tool you use matters as much as the technique. In Japan, cooks always use a wooden spatula, called a shamoji, instead of a metal spoon. Metal can easily crush or tear the delicate grains, turning fluffy rice into a sticky mess. A wooden spatula, however, is gentle and smooth, helping each grain stay intact. Before using it, dip the spatula in water or wipe it with a damp cloth. This simple step keeps rice from sticking. When mixing, don't stir in circles. Instead, use a light cutting and folding motion, gently lifting and turning the rice from bottom to top. This method helps release excess steam and creates that soft, airy texture perfect for sushi or everyday meals. In Japan, this process isn't rushed. It's a quiet, mindful moment, treating each grain with care and respect. 4. Always soak kombu before heating. Kombu, a type of dried kelp, is the hidden source of Japan's famous umami flavor. But to unlock its full richness, you must never rush it. The secret lies in soaking it in cold water before heating. Place a sheet of kombu in a pot of cold water and let it sit for at least 20 to 30 minutes or even overnight if you have time. This slow soaking allows glutamates, the natural flavor compounds, to dissolve gradually, giving your broth a deep, savory base. Once it's soaked, heat the water slowly over low flame. Watch closely just before it begins to boil. Remove the kombu. Boiling it too long turns the broth bitter and cloudy. This simple, patient method creates clear, flavorful dashi, the foundation for miso soup, ramen, and countless Japanese dishes. The key is calmness. Kombu rewards those who take their time. 5. Slice vegetables. Uniformly in Japanese cooking, presentation and balance are just as important as flavor. That's why chefs take great care to slice vegetables uniformly. Even slices mean everything cooks evenly, no overcooked pieces, no raw ones. The result is harmony in both texture and taste. Start by choosing a sharp knife. A dull one will bruise the vegetables instead of cutting cleanly. Then, line up your ingredients and slice them slowly and steadily into equal sizes, thin for stir-fries, thicker for simmered dishes like nomono. This attention to uniformity also enhances the look of the dish, making it visually calming and beautiful. In Japan, they say the eyes should enjoy the meal before the mouth does. When every piece looks the same and cooks together perfectly, it shows respect for the food and for the person who will eat it. Precision, after all, is a quiet form of care. 6. Add mirin or sake to balance flavors. In Japanese cooking, balance is everything, and when a dish turns out too salty, the secret fix isn't dilution but harmony. Instead of adding water, chefs use mirin or sake. Mirin, a sweet rice wine, brings a gentle sweetness that softens sharp flavors, while sake adds depth and smoothness without overpowering the dish. To use them, simply add a tablespoon or two during simmering or near the end of cooking, then let it bubble briefly so the alcohol evaporates, leaving only rich, mellow flavor. This trick works beautifully in sauces, glazes, and even stir-fries. It's the reason Japanese cuisine never feels heavy. Every element supports the other, creating a perfect blend of salty, sweet, and savory. A dash of mirin or sake can rescue an unbalanced dish instantly, proving that in Japanese cooking, harmony is not an accident, it's an art. 7. A drop of sesame oil goes a long way. Sesame oil is one of the most fragrant ingredients in Japanese cooking, but it's often misunderstood. Many people use it for frying, but that's a mistake. Sesame oil has a low smoke point, meaning its flavor burns quickly under high heat. The true secret is to use it as a finishing touch, not a base oil. Once your dish is cooked, turn off the heat and add just a few drops. Stir gently to let the warmth of the food awaken its deep, nutty aroma. You'll instantly notice how it transforms the entire dish, giving stir-fries, noodles, or soups that unmistakable Japanese fragrance. It's powerful, so a little goes a long way. Think of sesame oil as perfume for your food, added at the end to leave a lasting impression. Used this way, it turns simple home cooking into something restaurant-worthy with almost no effort. 8. Season in stages, not all at once. In Japanese cooking, flavor is built patiently, layer by layer, never rushed. Instead of adding all the seasoning at once, chefs season in stages to let each ingredient reveal its natural taste. Start with a light sprinkle of salt early in the cooking process to draw out moisture and awaken the food's flavor. Midway, add your core seasonings, soy sauce, mirin, or sake, allowing them to soak in and blend with the base. Finally, finish with a subtle touch of seasoning just before serving to brighten the dish and balance everything. This step-by-step method prevents overpowering any single flavor and creates harmony in the final bite. Think of it like composing music. Each note builds toward a beautiful finish. When you season thoughtfully and gradually, even a simple soup or stir-fry gains richness, depth, and that unmistakable Japanese sense of calm precision. 9. Keep knives razor sharp. In Japanese cuisine, the knife is more than a tool, it's an extension of the chef's hand. That's why keeping it razor sharp is a daily ritual. A dull knife tears and bruises food, causing vegetables to lose moisture and fish to lose their delicate texture. A sharp knife, on the other hand, glides effortlessly, preserving the freshness and appearance of every ingredient. To maintain this precision, sharpen your knife regularly using a whetstone, not a metal sharpener. Wet the stone, then gently slide the blade at a 15 to 20 degree angle, alternating sides to keep the edge balanced. After sharpening, rinse and dry immediately to prevent rust. Japanese chefs believe that a clean cut honors the ingredient and the person who eats it. When your knife moves smoothly, you'll notice your food looks neater, cooks more evenly, and tastes cleaner. Proof that precision and respect go hand in hand. 10. Use short grain rice for authentic stickiness. The secret to authentic Japanese meals begins with the right rice. Short grain Japanese rice, often called uruchimai, has a naturally higher starch content that gives it that signature stickiness and glossy look. This texture helps the grains hold together, perfect for sushi, onigiri, rice balls, or donburi, rice bowls. Long grain varieties like basmati or jasmine stay separate and dry, which is why they never create that soft, clingy texture found in Japanese dishes. To cook it properly, rinse the rice several times until the water runs clear. This removes excess starch that can make it gummy. Let it soak in clean water for 20 to 30 minutes before cooking, then steam gently. Once cooked, let it rest before fluffing. The result? Tender, slightly chewy rice that feels like silk in your mouth. When you start with short grain rice, you capture the very soul of Japanese comfort food. 11. Protect your nori from humidity. Nori may look sturdy, but it's incredibly sensitive to air and humidity. The moment moisture seeps in, it loses its crispness and turns chewy, ruining that satisfying crunch in sushi or hand rolls. To keep it fresh, store nori in an airtight container or resealable bag with a desiccant or dry rice grains to absorb moisture. Avoid leaving it near steam or open windows. For the best texture, lightly toast each sheet over low heat for just a few seconds before using. Hold it with tongs and wave it gently above the flame until it darkens slightly and becomes fragrant. This revives its crunch and enhances its ocean-fresh aroma. Japanese sushi chefs swear by this small step to keep every bite crisp and flavorful. Remember, crispy nori isn't just about texture, it's about preserving the freshness and spirit of the sea in every roll. 12. Use a damp towel under your cutting board. In a Japanese kitchen, safety and precision go hand in hand, and one simple habit ensures both: placing a damp towel under your cutting board. This trick keeps the board from slipping as you chop, giving you full control of your knife movements. Here's how to do it. Wet a small kitchen towel or paper towel, wring out the excess water so it's just damp, and lay it flat beneath your board. Instantly, it grips the counter like glue. Whether you're slicing fish, dicing vegetables, or cutting delicate sushi rolls, this steady surface helps you maintain even pressure and accuracy. It also prevents accidents, especially when working quickly with sharp knives. Japanese chefs see this as a mark of discipline, a tiny step that shows respect for both your tools and your safety. It's proof that mastery isn't about complexity, but consistency in the little things. 13. Add a little baking soda to tempura batter. The secret to truly crispy tempura isn't just ice-cold water, it's science. A pinch of baking soda in the batter changes everything. When baking soda reacts with the cold liquid and hot oil, it releases tiny air bubbles that make the coating light, airy, and irresistibly crisp. To get it right, start with a simple mix. 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of icy water, 1 egg, and just 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Stir gently, don't overmix, leaving a few small lumps for that authentic texture. Dip your vegetables or shrimp in the batter and fry immediately in hot oil, around 107 to 180 degrees Celsius or 340 to 360 degrees. The result? That shattering, paper-thin crunch you only hear in top Japanese restaurants. The trick is balance. Too much baking soda makes the batter bitter, but just a little gives you the golden, delicate crisp that defines perfect tempura. 14. Always dry ingredients before frying. Moisture is the silent enemy of crispy frying. In Japanese cooking, especially when making tempura or katsu, drying your ingredients is a must. Any water left on the surface instantly reacts with hot oil, breaking the batter and creating messy splatters. Before dipping vegetables, shrimp, or meat into the batter, pat them thoroughly with a paper towel until they're dry to the touch. For vegetables with high water content, like eggplant or zucchini, you can lightly salt them first to draw out extra moisture. Then wipe them dry. This simple habit makes all the difference. Instead of soggy, heavy coating, you'll get that light, golden crunch that tempura is famous for. Japanese chefs are meticulous about this step because they know crispy texture comes from dryness, not oil temperature alone. The rule is simple: if it's not dry, it won't fry. 15. Don't flip fish too early. Cooking fish the Japanese way is an exercise in patience and precision. When you place fish in a hot pan, the instinct is to flip it quickly, but that's where most people go wrong. If you flip too soon, it sticks and tears. The secret is to wait. Let the heat gently caramelize the surface until it naturally releases on its own. This usually takes 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the thickness and the pan's temperature. You'll notice the edges turning golden and slightly crisp. That's your signal. Then, flip gently using a spatula or chopsticks and cook the other side briefly. For extra perfection, pat the fish dry before cooking to remove moisture that causes sticking. In Japan, chefs often say, "Good fish rewards patience." When you give it time, it rewards you with a clean lift, a golden crust, and a tender, flaky texture that melts beautifully in your mouth. 16. A touch of sugar balances salt. In Japanese cooking, sugar isn't just for sweets, it's a quiet harmonizer. When a dish turns out too salty or sharp, a small pinch of sugar can bring everything back into balance. It doesn't make the food taste sugary. Instead, it softens harsh edges and deepens the overall flavor. To use this trick, sprinkle just a little sugar into your sauce or soup, stir, and taste again. the saltiness will mellow and the dish will feel smoother and more rounded. Japanese chefs often use this method in soy-based sauces, teriyaki glazes, and simmered dishes, nimono, to achieve that perfect blend of salty, savory, and sweet. The secret lies in restraint. Too much sugar ruins the balance, but the right amount transforms the flavor completely. It's a reminder that in Japanese cuisine, cooking isn't about overpowering, it's about restoring peace and harmony on the plate. 17. Season the liquid first in rice dishes. In Japanese cooking, rice is more than a side dish, it's the heart of the meal. And when making takikomi gohan, rice cooked with vegetables, mushrooms, or meat, the key to deep, even flavor is simple. Season the liquid first. Before adding rice, mix your water or broth with soy sauce, mirin, sake, and a pinch of salt or dashi powder. Taste it, it should be slightly stronger than you'd expect, because the rice will absorb and mellow it during cooking. Once it's balanced, add the rinsed rice and ingredients on top without stirring. Let it cook as usual, then rest before fluffing. This step ensures every grain soaks up that seasoned broth, turning plain rice into a fragrant, flavorful centerpiece. Japanese home cooks treat this method as an art of quiet precision, where seasoning the liquid first doesn't just flavor the rice, it transforms it into a full, comforting meal. 18. Marinate in miso or soy for tenderness. In Japan, marinades do more than season, they tenderize and transform. Ingredients like miso, soy sauce, and sake are natural softeners that gently break down protein fibers while infusing rich umami flavor. To try this method, mix 2 tablespoons of miso or soy sauce with 1 tablespoon of sake or mirin. Coat your meat or fish evenly and let it rest in the refrigerator for 1 to 3 hours or overnight for deeper flavor. The enzymes in miso and the mild acidity of sake work together to make even tough cuts juicy and tender. When ready to cook, lightly wipe off the excess marinade before grilling or pan-searing to avoid burning. This technique is why Japanese dishes like miso salmon or soy-marinated beef taste so delicate yet flavorful. It's not just cooking, it's slow, thoughtful care that turns simple proteins into silky, savory perfection. 19. Use sake to remove fishy odors. In Japanese kitchens, freshness is everything, especially when it comes to seafood. That's why home cooks and chefs alike use sake to gently remove fishy odors before cooking. The process is simple but powerful. Place your fish on a plate, pour a small amount of sake over it, and let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. The alcohol and mild acidity work together to neutralize strong smells while drawing out any impurities. Afterward, pat the fish dry with paper towels before seasoning or cooking. This step not only removes unpleasant odors, but also enhances the natural sweetness of the fish. The result is clean, pure flavor, delicate, not overpowering. In Japan, this technique is considered a sign of respect for the ingredient, preserving its essence instead of hiding it. Just a splash of sake, and your seafood transforms from ordinary to restaurant-quality freshness. 20. Wrap leftover sushi in a damp cloth. Sushi is best enjoyed fresh, but sometimes there are leftovers, and here's where a simple Japanese trick saves the day. Never store sushi uncovered in the fridge, as cold air quickly dries out the rice and hardens it. Instead, take a clean kitchen towel or paper towel, dampen it slightly, not soaking wet, and gently wrap it around the sushi. Then place it inside an airtight container before refrigerating. The damp cloth maintains just enough humidity to keep the rice soft and the fish tender, preserving the delicate texture. When ready to eat, let the sushi sit at room temperature for about 15 minutes before unwrapping. This helps restore its flavor and feel. While nothing beats fresh sushi, this method ensures your leftovers remain moist, pleasant, and close to their original quality. It's a small act of care that turns next day's sushi into a still enjoyable experience. 21. Wipe the knife between sushi cuts. In sushi making, precision is everything, and it starts with the knife. Japanese chefs are meticulous about keeping their blades spotless, wiping the knife after every cut to achieve clean, flawless slices. When cutting sushi, bits of rice and fish cling to the blade, creating drag and tearing the next piece. To prevent this, keep a damp cloth or towel nearby. After each slice, wipe the knife gently, then dip it in water and wipe again if needed. This simple routine keeps the blade smooth and gliding effortlessly through the roll or fish. It's the reason sushi pieces from skilled chefs look so neat, with sharp edges and perfect form. While it may seem tedious, this habit reflects the Japanese philosophy of mindfulness, every motion done with purpose. The result? Sushi that looks beautiful, feels delicate, and tastes just as refined as it should. 22. Keep tofu in water. Tofu may look sturdy, but it's mostly water, and once opened, it can dry out or absorb fridge odors quickly. That's why in Japan, cooks always store tofu in fresh water to preserve its smooth, delicate texture. After opening the pack, place the tofu block in a clean bowl and cover it completely with cold water. Then, refrigerate it. The water acts as a protective layer, keeping the tofu moist, fresh, and ready to soak up flavors again when you cook. Make sure to change the water daily. This prevents sourness and keeps it tasting clean. Whether you're grilling, frying, or adding it to soups, tofu that's stored properly will stay soft and silky for days longer. It's a simple but essential habit that shows the Japanese respect for freshness, treating even the simplest ingredient with care and attention to detail. 23. Don't overcrowd the pan. In Japanese cooking, how you cook is just as important as what you cook, and that's why spacing is everything. When you overcrowd a pan, the food releases steam, lowering the oil or pan temperature and causing your dish to steam instead of fry. The result? Soggy tempura, pale gyoza, or limp stir-fried vegetables. To avoid this, cook in small batches. Make sure each piece has space around it so the heat can circulate evenly. For frying, this means crisp, golden coatings. For stir-fries, it means tender vegetables with a slight char and vibrant color. Patience is key. Remove the first batch, let the oil recover its heat, and continue. It may take a bit longer, but the payoff is huge. Japanese chefs say, the pan must breathe. And when it does, your food comes out crisp, flavorful, and beautifully cooked every single time. 24. Use dashi instead of water. In Japan, the secret to unforgettable flavor begins with one word, dashi. Unlike plain water, which adds no taste, dashi infuses dishes with a deep, savory richness known as umami. Made by gently simmering kombu, dried kelp, and katsuobushi, dried bonito flakes, this simple broth forms the foundation of Japanese cooking. To make it, soak a sheet of kombu in cold water for 20 to 30 minutes. Heat slowly until just before boiling. Remove the kombu, then add a handful of bonito flakes. Let them steep for a minute before straining, and that's it. You now have liquid gold. Use dashi instead of water in soups, sauces, noodle dishes, or even omelets like tamagoyaki. The result is deeper flavor, natural saltiness, and balance without heaviness. Once you start cooking with dashi, even the simplest dishes, miso soup, simmered vegetables, or rice, gain warmth, depth, and that unmistakable Japanese soul. 25. Respect silence in the kitchen. In Japan, cooking is more than a task. It's a quiet ritual. The best chefs believe that true mastery begins in silence. In a calm kitchen, every sound matters. The rhythmic chop of a knife, the soft simmer of broth, the gentle sizzle of tempura. These sounds guide the cook, helping them sense when something is just right. Silence invites focus, gratitude, and respect for the ingredients. It's a moment to be fully present, to feel the weight of the knife, the aroma of soy, the warmth of steam. This mindful stillness turns cooking into meditation, where motion and attention flow together. Japanese chefs say that when your mind is quiet, your food reflects that peace. The result isn't just a delicious meal, it's harmony on a plate. Respect the silence, and your kitchen becomes more than a workspace, it becomes a sanctuary of calm creation. Final thoughts. Japanese cooking isn't about following rules, it's about understanding balance. The balance between flavor and restraint, between technique and simplicity, between you and nature. Once you slow down, observe, and apply these quiet little lessons, your kitchen changes. Food becomes calmer, richer, and more meaningful. So next time you cook rice, fry fish, or slice vegetables, remember the smallest details often carry the deepest wisdom. And maybe like me, you'll think, I wish I had learned these earlier. If you found these Japanese cooking secrets inspiring, give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone who loves food, and subscribe for more cultural deep dives like this one. Which of these tips surprised you the most? Tell us in the comments, and let's keep learning from the world's quietest, most elegant kitchens.